Hello, John here, your friendly remote CPA. I've been getting this question a lot about report running in QuickBooks, so I just wanted to make a quick video about how to run some of the most common reports in QuickBooks. You might need these reports for some kind of payroll audit or insurance applications. There's all kinds of reasons that you might need these reports. So let's just take a look at our sample company here. Obviously, we would never use real client data. And within QuickBooks, over here on the left, you will have some kind of reports functionality. As of this recording, this menu bar over here on the left is changing. So some clients, it will appear differently. It might be under business overview, but in this sample company, it's still just reports. And the two reports that we're going to look at are the profit and loss and the balance sheet. Those are the two commonly requested reports. So first, let's take a look at the profit and loss. Seems pretty straightforward to begin with. You've got all of your income items here at the top, and then about halfway down the page we have a section called total income. That could also be called total revenue. It's the same thing. It lists all of your revenue streams, however you have them broken out. Most people don't have this many. There might be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of them. And then below, you have a section for cost of goods sold. And below cost of goods sold, we have gross profit. So that's just your total income minus your cost of goods sold. It results in your gross profit. Cost of goods sold is most commonly used in like manufacturing companies, and then ideally your expenses below would be more fixed expenses, office expense, advertising, things that might not be necessarily allocable to a specific job or customer of yours. And then at the bottom, sometimes we have other expenses and other income. And then down here we get to, so we have net operating income. So that is the gross profit minus the total expenses. And the other section is separate. They give you a line for net other income. But what is really the most important is net income at the bottom. The other thing about all of the QuickBooks profit and loss, or all of the QuickBooks reporting, is at the very bottom, it gives you a little stamp here that tells you what kind of accounting basis you ran the report on and when the report was ran. The accounting method can vary based on your industry, and it's what's on your tax return. So someone may have already selected that for you when you started your business. But QuickBooks makes it really nice to change the type of accounting you're using. So you just come up here to the top, and sometimes some people might ask you to run your P&L on a certain method of accounting, usually cash. So all you have to do is click cash, run the report, and then it will update here at the bottom of the report for the cash basis. The other really helpful thing that you can do is you can change the dates pretty easily. So a lot of times you can use these predefined, this quarter, to change the report period, or you can just type in the date. It's really easy. So if I wanted to do January 1st, 2019, I could just do 01/01/19 tab. And then if I wanted to go to 12/31/21 tab, it automatically populates those dates. I can say run report, and I guess there's no data here. So let's take it back to maybe just last year. Run the report. We've got some numbers. But the other thing we can do, and this was really important during PPP, is you can split the display columns by quarters. So for all of those rules where you had to have a certain percentage of revenue decreased quarter over quarter from the last year, all you had to do is come in here, run your P&L for the proper report, select quarters, and the other thing that you can do is you can actually compare with the prior year, and you can drop in the percent change. So for those PPP metrics where we were looking for a 20% decrease in total revenue, the percent change would automatically be listed. And it looks like in the sample file, there is no data for 2021, unfortunately. So all of these changes are listed as 0, but this is all it would take for your PPP report. The other thing you can do is sometimes we have an in and an out in a certain income or expense report or income or expense account, and it results in a 0 impact in that account, but there was still technically activity in there. If you don't want to see those zeros, you can change these radio buttons to say non-zero and just run the report here. If you want to go even more in depth, you can go to this beautiful customization button up in the top right. So once again, that's right over here, customize. You've got a lot of the same functionality, but you can make it look even prettier. You can get rid of cents. You can make your numbers in traditional accounting format with the parentheses. You've also got the ability to actually change your columns quite a bit. And you can filter. Maybe you want to look at a certain customer. You only want to see the income and expenses related to that customer. So you can go ahead and run that report. Whatever I selected came back with almost nothing. And then if this is a report that you use frequently, you can even say save the customization, and you can create a new event, and you can share it with just you. You can keep it private, or you can share it with your entire firm. So that's the go-to for running the profit and loss. Now let's go back to the other most frequently ran report, which is the balance sheet. And keep in mind, the balance sheet is just a snapshot in time. So it shows us exactly how much time or how much cash we have in the bank at a snapshot in time. It shows us exactly what our liabilities are at a snapshot in time. So it's not necessarily looking at like a range of time the same way that the profit and loss is. So this report is set for this year to date. Similar to the profit and loss, you can split it by months. Here's where I find this non-zero function most useful, because we seem to have a lot more $0 line items. So like right here, this sample company has $0 with the Arizona Department of Revenue. So when I run the report and we go back to, if we try to find Arizona, it's just gone because it's 0. So we don't need to see it. Since we've got a few line items where we have activity this year, but not last year, it will show because last month, there is a dollar value here. And similar to the profit and loss, you can come up here, customize even more, get rid of those cents, and filter a number of ways. And now you've got a nice, pretty report. Once you're done running all of the reports that were requested, you can hit this little up button. It means export, and you can export to Excel or PDF. And in this file, you can even add it to the management report. So that's a whole nother reporting function within QuickBooks. If you have a specific management report that you look at frequently, and those can be found over here. So when you do save custom reports, you'll get to them over here in this custom reports tab. They'll show up there. And then the management reports are over here. These are standard reports that QuickBooks gives you that you start with, and then you can click this drop down over here and you can edit, you can customize. These, I have a love-hate relationship with these. They're fantastic because you can export a nice big reporting package all at once. But some of the display options are quite limited. So that is a quick overview on report running in QuickBooks, and I hope you find it helpful.